Hi guys, so this is my second sketchbook tour, technically my third, but the first two sketchbooks were so small and half finished that they just went in one video. But this is how I mark my sketchbooks, with the 3 Pokeballs for my third sketchbook and my 3rd gen starter, which was Torchic, because he was always my favourite. And I always struggle with the first page, so I just thought if I do something big and colourful on the first page then maybe it will stick with the rest of the sketchbook. But I did my favourite Vocaloid, which is CU. I just love doing all the hair and everything, and it's nice colours that all go together. And me as a Pokemon trainer with my Sableye, because he's my favourite. He reminds me of Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. And I just printed this out and made like a collage of some of my favourite anime boys. So you got 707 and Tomoe from Kami-sama Hajime Mashite. And I have a really bad habit of not drawing it on this bit of the page, which I'm trying to fix. But these were 2 OCs that I originally did, and I haven't really drawn them since, and I can't even remember their names. But she's supposed to be like I forget the name for it. She has a personality disorder, and this one is a yandere. I completely forget their names, but I think I changed her quite a bit from what I originally designed. She stayed the same, except her hair used to be purple, I think. But yeah, and Asuna, one of the easier characters to draw because she just has so much hair, you can just cover everything. This was from a film on Netflix, I think it was called Tao, and it was like he was a robot and she meets him and starts making him feel like he's a person, so I drew a scene from the film and then just practicing with my watercolour pens. I have quite a bad habit of not leaving my sketches alone, so everything just ends up in complete colour, which I'm trying to stop and actually have a sketchbook rather than a watercolour book. But this was from a scene in Asterisk War, and I think her name was Sylvia Lindenheim, but she did like this massive song and it was a really pretty piece in the series, so I drew it and used watercolour, and I'm really bad with just not leaving it and working with it really quickly, so I have a lot of the bleeding from the watercolour pens. It's another thing I'm trying to work on. And then down here is another OC, and she's called Nisa, and she's actually based on my car, and I just think she's so cute and bubbly. And then just more colour practice because I couldn't work out what to use as shading for this blue colour. This was kind of more practice with anatomy and that, and I've improved quite a bit, but this is quite bad. But this was just like your basic witch and purple orange, 2 favourite colours to go together, so I just drew that in watercolour. And 90% of this book is watercolour, like this is all watercolour. But they're watercolour pens instead of watercolour paints because I cannot paint to save my life. This was just me trying to practice backgrounds, and I really struggled because I wouldn't let the pens dry. I just kept putting colour over them, so they just kept bleeding and it turned into a bit of a mess. This is when I started getting back into markers, and I drew from Future Diary, and I had a few problems with getting the right shades because I don't own that many markers. But yes, I drew and this was supposed to be me before I changed my hair. I was really proud of this one. This was a contest entry. I think the contest was for a strong woman challenge on amino, and I think if I remember I got 2nd place in this one, so it was worth it putting in all the effort to do all the background. And as you can see, I really struggle with backgrounds. It just looks awful, but she looks alright, and the proportions of the building to her look huge. But, this was another challenge entry. I cannot remember what this one was for. I think it was just to draw someone that wasn't human, and I used marker for all of this, I think, except for the skin, which was a watercolour pencil. But I got really lazy in the background and just decided to dot this like chains everywhere because I didn't know what to do, and the clothing is terrible, the folds and everything. These were more car character designs, so it's Nisa again, based on my Nissan, and then this was Ford, who was based on my boyfriend's Fiesta. I liked the way he looked in this one, but there was something off about his shorts and just his hair, I don't know. But I would do like little scenes where his car hates my car, because his car has a black box for the insurance and my car never did. So he's got like the little prison anklet for his black box, and I was going to call it originally, I can't pronounce that, but Car Family, and then the Japanese name and the writing, because I was going to put like all the cars that we've had into the series, which is what this page was. It was kind of like a semi poster that just I gave up on the background, but Nisa, Ford, and then my boyfriend's work car, he's an electrician, so he's called Locke. Unfinished. I tend to not leave things unfinished in here, but this must have been when I was going through an art book and just didn't know how to finish it. This was another challenge entry. I think it was a Magical Girls one, and I drew the whole crew from Yuki as a hero. A really good but very sad anime, and I drew their little fairies and stuff down here. But this was all done in watercolour, like the whole thing, so it was a lot of getting paper ruined because of too much water. This was supposed to be a meet the artist, but never finished it. These were the next like OC that I started working on. This is one I still use today, but she's changed a little bit, like I changed her name and stuff. But because I think originally I called her Sakura, and then I changed it to Chiyoko, and she's a Kitsune character, so I do just like a load of shots of her and what she looked like in different like situations. It's another amino challenge entry for a food to human concept, so I just did like, you know, the McFlurry hair, fries, and like burger and stuff like that, and as if she sat on the table. But I think I just got an honourable mention in that one. This was a request for someone that I struggled with, because the original picture they sent me had a lot of detail in the outfit, and I couldn't, the resolution wasn't high enough that I could actually see what the design was, so I kind of based it on that and then just did my best to copy it. The anatomy in this is horrible, but it was Miku, I forget what outfit it was, but it was me like trying out the markers again, and I did record a speed paint for this and then I lost it, so that won't be going up. I went really hard with the markers, and you can see like the skin's not blended at all, but like the clothes is not too bad, but the pose was just awful, like your arm wouldn't bend that way. And then just more watercolour practice. These are the like two main OCs that I made, and obviously you've got Choco, which is the one I showed before, but has a little bit of a lighter pink in this one because I think I was struggling what shades I wanted. And then this is Katsu. He's like the love interest of her, but I've changed him loads now. He has kind of longer hair. I think I made his hair and fur red and his eyes green, and I also gave him like little face details just so he'd stand out a bit and not just look so plain. But that's Katsu's Choco. This one there is a speed paint for on my channel, but it was just kind of me testing out what angles I needed to have everything at to upload it. This one took forever because there's just so many details in the background, like this water, the clouds, the airplanes. Colouring the sunflowers took forever, and the proportions are still not fantastic, but yeah, so that one took like 4 hours, and it's all in marker. I didn't do any of this in watercolour, it was all marker. That's why you can see some of it's not blended as much as I would like. This was a start of a challenge, but never finished it, and it was like a choose your class one, so I was going to do the Final Fantasy characters from Final Fantasy 14. Katsu profile page, but he looks nothing like that anymore. This was a redraw of a very old picture I did. In fact, I might have it here if you give me 2 seconds to look for it. Okay, yeah, so this was the redraw and this was the original picture. I think I did this 4 years ago, I think, maybe 5. But yeah, I just redrew it, literally like copied it but changed into like what my style is now. This was the start of a pastel girl challenge that I didn't actually enter because I didn't finish it in time, but yeah, so I like made these on the Pastel Girl app and then drew them up. I think her hair just reminds me of Sailor Moon and it's really cute. This was, I think, when I was having some trouble with my style and proportion, so I was looking up tutorials and things, and I liked this, but it didn't really look like how my style normally is, and it would have been too hard to try and stay in this style when that's not how I draw. But it's just like a nice outfit and ponytail. I don't know what that is. I think that was just me practicing faces. And this was supposed to be an elven druid, because whenever I played a game where you had the options of what race you'd be, I tended to be an elf and some sort of like druid or mage. So I just drew what my characters often looked like. And this was the start of Inktober, and I started 4 days in because I completely forgot that it was a thing. So I drew Choco using some of her spells, because the word was spell, and it was the 4th day that I entered. And I just literally kept it with the black and white. I wanted to colour it, but I felt like it ruined it, and it looked better in black and white. This was for the 5th day, which was chicken. So I drew Harvest Moon character with the 2 little cute chickens, because she was always my favourite character. I completely forget her name now. And then this one, I just had no energy after drawing this one, so this one was drawing, so I just did a character eating some sweets. This was day 7, and it was exhausted, so I just drew a really sad character and then put some lyrics from, I forget what song it is, but Melanie Martinez, I think it's Dollhouse. Put the lyrics for that. And this was day 8, and it was Star, so I drew like a moon girl trying to catch the stars, which are her friends. And I really loved the outfit for this one, and I want to redraw it, do it digitally. Day 9 was Precious, so I just drew like a cute little almost maid girl in a box coming out. But it was really hard to leave this one alone because I knew what colours I wanted to colour it, but I thought I'll leave it in black and white. This one was day 10, which was flowing, so I just did the wind with hair and then the scarf to try and give it some motion. This one, I have to turn it, but this one was Cruel for day 11, so I just drew like a girl holding herself back from getting to her happiness, and I think it just turned into too much black on one page. That was my problem with it, but I liked how it came out. It just didn't come out how I thought it was going to. This was day 12, which was whales, so I just did a swimming with a whale mark. It was easy to colour in black and white. And this is when I started losing patience and couldn't be bothered. But it was guarded, so I just drew a soldier with her shield and her armour. That was day 13. This was day 14, and it was the word clock, so I drew like anime Cinderella, the clock in the background, and this wasn't finished, but I didn't have time to finish it because I was already 3 days behind with Inktober, so I just kind of left it how it is. So I never finished that, which is a habit of the sketchbook. I try and finish things, but it doesn't work. And it's just note pages, and then at the back it's just another printed out page of anime voice. I think it was Akira from Persona 5, I forget his name, but he's from Diabolic Lovers, so I just printed out loads of pictures. But yeah, I have the rest of the Inktober pictures, but they'll be for the next sketchbook tour, because I haven't finished that sketchbook yet, because I have a small one that I'm doing like 4-page drawings on, and then I have another A4 one that I've started for just sketches, because whenever I do these sketchbooks there's only like 3 sketches in them, the rest are all watercolored, they're all finished, and it's just not helping me improve at all if I just finish every single one with colour rather than focus on the anatomy and things like that. So, but that was my 3rd sketchbook tour. I'm working on the 4th one, and technically the 5th one. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and subscribe and like, and I'll put a link in the description to my amino, because I update more on that of all my individual pictures, so you can go over there and check out them and the challenge entries that I'm currently doing. Thank you!